I mean, look, I think it's easy to kick a man when he's down. And I do think, for everything that he said about us, for everything that he said about AJ, part of me, and I've given it to him in a few interviews, part of me wants to, give him a little bit back. He made it uncomfortable for us. I felt that him and his team lied about me and AJ over a period of time. But right now, I think the guy
Eddie,
needs...
Eddie, you did say one thing you said was, hey, I thought Anthony Joshua was ducking you, but what about the 2016 and the 2017? Because that's really what Wilder was saying, that's really when Wilder was saying that you guys were ducking him. Not after he fought Fury. He was kind of open with saying that he doesn't want to fight you guys. He was trying to blackball Anthony Joshua, actually.
You see, this is a problem I have with the boxing media, with boxing media in general, is that when it comes to Deontay Wilder, they're willing to facilitate this revisionist version of events, and it gets on my fucking nerves. Deontay Wilder in 2016 wasn't talking about Anthony Joshua at all. In fact, 2017 is when Anthony Joshua fought Vladimir Klitschko. There were lights and everything, and it was a big deal. And just for the information, Barak's information, I don't know which one is Aka, which one is Barak, but the black guy there, and I could tell by his body language, that he was trying to suggest something. Deontay Wilder was at that fight, and he was in awe of what he saw. And after that is when the jealousy began going into 2018 and 2019. Okay?
Yeah, but the main period, 2016-17 weren't even in play. 2016 and 17 was when AJ was winning the World Heavyweight Championship, unifying it against Vladimir Klitschko, unifying it against Joseph Parker. It really started after Parker and around the Povetkin fight, right? Which was the back end of 2018. But we tried, and so almost to the point where I would fly to America and I would be calling Shelley Finkel, asking him for a meeting in New York to discuss the fight, and they wouldn't even entertain a meeting. Then we got an email from Deontay Wilder personally to Anthony Joshua saying, I will give you 50 million for the fight, and that's it. And then we asked for a contract and they wouldn't even send it to us, and next day it's all over the media. Joshua's turned down 50 million. It's whoa. So they played a great game. And by the way, I think what they did was they raised his profile off the back of the whole Joshua, who's right, who's wrong. They've done a great job. But now you're seeing a situation with a deluded man, who, I don't know whether he needs to, someone needs to grab hold of Deontay Wilder, right? And sit him down and go, Deontay, listen to me. 1, you're going about everything the wrong way. 2, you need to get he's spiraling out of control. Every interview I see, it's getting worse and worse and worse. But it still comes down to the fact that the management have apparently let this contract expire. And if they have, then they've done a horrendous job. And someone's got to be held accountable. Because right now, if Anthony Joshua beats Kubrat Pulev on December the 12th on DAZN, he will fight Tyson Fury twice next year. So you can forget a shot at the World Heavyweight title till 2022 and beyond. So in answer to your question, is Deontay Wilder ever going to fight again? Because is Deontay Wilder going to come back for $1 million or a couple of $1 million to fight a 10-rounder with, I don't know, Andy Ruiz or someone like that? No. He ain't going to want to get in the ring unless it's for 8 figures. So, and those fights aren't out there. I wouldn't be surprised if you never see this guy fight again, or certainly didn't see him fight for a considerable period of time. Because right now, he's either deluded, he's either getting horrific advice, or he's completely lost the plot. One of those 3.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that quite a few Deontay Wilder fans will find the comments of Eddie Hearn quite disturbing, unacceptable, insufferable. But honestly, on the other hand, I happen to feel that he was being a bit magnanimous and generous to the state of mind and the character of Deontay Wilder. I think he's a lot worse, and I think that if we're being very truthful, if we were sort of being unfiltered about the character of Deontay Wilder, I think he could be a little bit more specific and a little bit more damning than that. We saw what went down. We understood it. We know that he actively tried to engage in what he believed, what he probably thought was fun machinations to try and destroy not only the Matchroom brand, but his own brand, which he called These Nuts. Okay? He used the leverage, as he should, by claiming that somebody wouldn't fight him to put pressure on Showtime Boxing and nearly put them out of business because they were trying to keep up. This guy is the most ridiculous person, and he nearly, I honestly believe that he nearly destroyed heavyweight boxing in America. And quite frankly, you could actually argue that Tyson Fury saved it. I'm not saying that Tyson Fury is a good person. I don't like Tyson Fury either. I think they both colluded together, and Tyson Fury hasn't actually got everything he wants. I think he's got close to it. It's better than it used to be. He's managed to raise his profile too, on the back of this degenerate called Deontay Wilder, who had nothing but opprobrium towards people that look like him, but actually tells people without an ounce of shame that he reached out to this guy, he pulled him up, he took care of him, he cherished him. And then you've got a problem when he tries to promote himself with mental illness, the same thing that you said you saw and helped him out of. I've got to tell you, I've got to be honest here, I don't care if they fight again, but I don't think they will, because I think Deontay Wilder's a coward. I do. I think he's a boneless, spineless coward. And
just mentioned Errol Spence Jr. He recently made comments to suggest he doesn't want to fight you. Do you think that's just trash talk? Do you think he really doesn't want to fight you?
I don't know. I mean, he's fighting my old opponents. He's fought, you know. I mean, I don't know why he doesn't want to fight me. You know, it'd be an exciting fight. It'd be one of the greatest matchups of any year whenever it goes down. I personally was looking forward to fighting him in 2020 because it was an Olympic year. He was an Olympian. I was an Olympic alternate.
you know, I wonder why people can't just be honest with themselves. You know exactly why Errol Spence doesn't want to fight you, because it's payback, motherfucker. It is what it is. He doesn't like you. He believes you're a fake motherfucker. Quite frankly, once people pay attention to you, they start seeing through your fucking facade anyway. But that is by the by. I think it's payback from when you were talking all that shit, saying that he had to earn his spot and you were there before him and so on and so forth. Even till recent, that was a point of view you held, that you were the man and this and that. And now he was probably getting irritated by it for two reasons: for the mere fact that you were saying it, okay, in the way that you were saying it, in that sort of condescending manner, and secondly, because it was just coming from you, and he sees you as a fucking weirdo, as many people do. I was willing to give you a break, to be honest with you, because I don't really like to judge people like that. But quite frankly, you are very irritating because you don't really know. You see, this is the thing with Keith Thurman. He's a bit like somebody else that you see on YouTube here, whose name I shan't mention. One of the guys out of Los Angeles, who tries to pretend like he's street, but at the same time he you can tell that he's not street. But whenever he's around certain individuals online, he starts to try to be this hardcore nigger type of thing, and then if the situation gets too hot, then he sort of backs off and say, hey, I was never street. Yeah, I come from Los Angeles, but I was never street. And I think that's what you get with Keith Thurman himself. Keith Thurman likes to play both sides. He likes to get into that black sort of rhythm lingo shit, and he comes across as fraudulent as fuck, particularly when you wear your hair like that. So moving on, let's listen to the rest of what he has to say.
But coming with a loss from the Pacquiao fight, no longer being champion, maybe he doesn't really have that much interest. But I think the fans still have plenty of interest. Like I was saying on the IG, I was calling it a BL, a barely lost, BL. And I still believe that I have everything that it takes to come back in the ranks as the number one welterweight in the world. So, if it's all, the will probably be in his court. But I don't understand why he don't want to play ball, man. Let's play ball. Let's get in there.
I could roll with the idea that you believe that you barely lost. Unfortunately, you were not supposed to lose that fight against a 40-year-old. You were a person who didn't move up in weight or have to move down in weight to fight Manny Pacquiao. This is a weight class that you've been in since you turned professional, and you claim to be at the top echelon, one of the, a champion in that weight class. And not only did you get beaten, you got your title taken away from you by a 40-year-old veteran who beat you up. And you can't sort of dismiss it or try to play it down by saying that you barely lost. It was an embarrassing loss that further sort of strengthened the political nature of boxing in regards to race. Something that many people won't talk about, but it emboldened a lot of people who have this anti-black sentiment towards black fighters and sort of pumped new life and blood into them based upon the fact that he beat you up. You were not supposed to lose that fight on many levels, and if other fighters choose to sort of ostracize you or repudiate what you stand for based upon that alone, I suppose it's out of shame, alongside the fact that they just can't stand your black ass anyway.